angels to be in the image of Adam, while Adam is in the image of God. I want you to watch the order. If you want to understand marriage, look at it from the sun and the moon. It creates the sun, the principal. It creates another like the sun to reflect the image of the sun. So that's why the second one never has the seed. That's why no woman carries a seed. It's her relationship with the man that gets her pregnant. That's why the moon never produces light. Because if you don't do this, there will be confusion and disorder. Because you create two heads. There is no order. And kingdom has to do with order and government. God is not creating a woman as a slave. He's creating a king and a queen. And they are to have two different realms of dominion. So he said, let the greater light, that's Genesis 1, in verse 14, after he created it, let the greater light rule the day, and the lesser light rule the night. Both are rulers. They are both king and queen. But one submits to the other. And that thing you call submission is not like you are being made silent to anything. It's a positioning that allows you to reflect what you're supposed to reflect. The glory of the sun. The glory of the sun is what the moon is supposed to reflect. Show that First Corinthians 11. The man is the glory of God, while the woman is the glory of the man. For the man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but the woman is what? You are not supposed to reflect Pastor Adeboye. You are supposed to reflect this man. You are not supposed to reflect T.D. Jakes. That's not what you are called. If not, you go and get married to him. You are not supposed to reflect any other person. Pastor David, you are supposed to reflect this man's image. Just like you are supposed to bear his children, you are supposed to reflect his glory. It's his messages that you preach, but you now give it a context that the children can get it. Exactly what is happening with the Trinity. You heard Jesus said, I do not speak of myself. I came not to seek my own glory. Everything he talks about the Father. That is that position that is called submission. When it's the turn of the Holy Spirit, he said the Holy Spirit too cannot speak of himself. In other words, they have will. They can do what Lucifer did, but they can't. It is what he hears that he speaks. That's what you are supposed to be doing. But that one Holy Spirit, how many people did Jesus reach? How many when he was alive? How many ministers did he leave behind? 12 plus 70. Actually, 120 people maximum. Look at what the Holy Spirit has done. 2.57 billion people. But yet, everything is reflected is Christ. That is the law through which the kingdom advances. Everybody wants to be founders. Everyone wants to say, I got it direct from heaven. Shut up your mouth, my friend. You don't understand how the things of God work. It's your pride. It won't allow you. So that's what a queen is supposed to do, to reflect the glory of the king. When she comes out with her majesty, you know who her husband is. So you can imagine during the time of Esther, that law was broken. They called Queen Vashti to come and display the glory of, and she insulted the king, refused the invitation, disgraced the king publicly with all the guests. The elders came and said, if we don't do something about this, all the women because they are going to reflect her glory. The women are looking, that's the first lady. All the women will start doing this to their husband. We need to remove her and bring a woman that understands the law of reflection. That's how Esther came in. It's not a weaker thing. It's just structure. In marriage, God is the chairman of the board. You know, it's a threefold call. The husband is the CEO. The mother is the COO, the chief operation officer. The chief operation officer gets her directive from the CEO. but she's the one that helps implement it. Once she is in order, all the children lines up. Now, every time there is a disorder in this system, the moon comes and blocks the sun. She's supposed to take an angle that allows her to submit to the sun, to receive the sun rays. And that angle also allows her to reflect that light to the universe. And that's how she gives light in the night. Anytime she takes a different position, as she is rotating, she finally assumes that blocks the sun. What does she send to the earth? Eclipse, darkness. Anytime a woman disobeys this order, what happens to the family? Darkness. She sends a distorted image, and the children are confused about their father, because is this Holy Spirit that is helping you to know Jesus? Is this Holy Spirit that is revealing the Father? And that's what a wife is supposed to do. Give the children the correct perception of their father. When he corrects them, they are confused. They don't. He said, no, that's part of his job. That's what he's supposed to do, to produce people that will be greater than him. Don't react like that. Don't talk like that about your father. This is what God expects him to do. And when you grow, that's what you're going to. It's not you call them and say, you see what I've been telling you? That man is wicked. Is that not how he talks to me? You people are not there, so you don't know what I've been going through in this house. So she turns her own submission, her own whatever, into and gives it another image. That's how Jezebels overthrow the family. You know, I told you about the book of Joshua. Let me quote one more thing from it. The founder of the tribe of Judah, his name is Judah, one of the sons of Jacob. The Bible said 2 of his sons were wicked. Have you noticed that? The first one was wicked, he died. And there is a young woman that was brought to him to marry. So no child, he dies. So they promised that woman to the second one. But that second one was also wicked. Instead of raising son for the brother, because you're supposed to, the first child will go replenish your brother's lineage, then the other ones are yours. That's the Jewish system. They don't believe in closing a lineage. He will not do it. He will enjoy sex. When it's time, he will spill the seed on the floor. God killed him. 2 sons, wicked. So they now told the girl, wait till the last one that is much younger grows up. But when you now read it in the book of Joshua, you understand what made them wicked. Judah went to marry the daughter of an Amorite king. The nations that God told them not to marry, Genesis recognized that. It's there in Genesis. But he didn't tell us what now transpired. He said this woman began to turn these sons against their father. That's Jezebel in the home. Turn the heart of the boys against their father. So they were rebellious to their father. They will not honor their father. And that also led. So when it was also time for, so God slaughtered them, because honor your father and mother is the law that produces longevity, and dishonor leads to short. And 2 of them died. So when you read the Bible, say they are wicked, you don't know that Joshua explains to you what was going on. And it was her that told this one, don't get her pregnant. I have a better woman for you. It's your father trying to force you people to marry this one woman. And she went and arranged women from her own place. Notice David had a son that gave him problem, Absalom. He married all the other women rightly. But one day he saw one of the daughter of a king, a nearby king, one of those nations, and married. It was that one that gave birth to Absalom. So notice one time Absalom caused some problems. They disciplined him. Do you know what he did? He ran back to his mother's place. And the king there gave him protection and was nurturing him until Joab and some other people pleaded for clemency for him to return. But by the time he returned, they have finished training him in their culture of rebellion. So he now came back to stage a military coup against his own father. There is a relationship between Jezebel and Absalom, or Jezebel and the beast. Anytime you see a rebellion, there's one woman behind it. There's one woman. If you don't find a woman, you find a Ahithophel. A friend that is offended, but he won't tell you, so you can reconcile. He will go and instigate the sons. So there is a proper place for women in ministry. If you look at the sun and the moon, you see it. And when that order is violated, whether it's in the church or in the society, that's the kind of darkness you're seeing on the Western nations. The head of every home is a woman. The vice president in the home are the children. They're untouchable. You can't correct them in the West. Then the man, I don't know what title they created for him. So that's the collapse. That's the matriarchal system, the collapse of the Western society. And that's what they want to impose on Africa. Some of you here, if you have not established the divine order well in your system, in your heart, and in your home, don't carry your wife and go to Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot may escape, but he didn't come out with his children and his wife. He only came out with 2 unmarried daughters. All the other ones gone. Babylon swallowed them, including his wife. Some of you that really believe in marriage in the name of being an economic migrant, without establishing the order very well, carry your whatever, go to Babylon. You know, Daniel survived, but he was just focusing on himself. He wasn't married. He was an Enoch. So if you're going to carry family, consider where you're going to raise children. Consider your marriage, the outcome. Abraham succeeded in such foreign lands with all the attempt made on his wife and his kings coming to, because that lady, she's so submitted to Abraham. Even when Abraham told her, he said, for my safety, say your man. She did that part. And because anytime you are in your place, God can intervene. God will not intervene when you come out of the divine order. You can't pray, he won't listen. He won't listen. No. He won't. You won't. There is no covering on your head. You can wear all these head tie. Wear the ones, that touch the ground. As long as you are not under your husband's covering, there is nothing on your head. Because this is supposed to be a symbol of authority. You see that one that went into deeper life, went in, because they are very tricky. Snakes just walked her way into Kumuyi's house. Walked her way into helping to provide food. But this is a man of God, a man of holiness, a man of prayer. Discernment spotted her. He wanted to cut off Elijah so that the whole thing can die. So there are some of them that are so good. If you will like tie it, they will tie it. Wear marks, they wear it for you. Snake is snake. Come in there too. But every now and then, she's now working in your office. What you've been noticing that you are getting flashes. Every other place you are fine. When you walk into that place, you get flashes, seduction of immorality. Sack that person, locate that person and remove him. If you are not going to sack, relocate. Find another department. Because persistence is stronger than resistance. Every time you are resisting, you are resisting, you are resisting. Let me show you another thing in the book of Joshua. Another thing in the book of Joshua added. Story of Joseph, exactly the same thing. But he said why the temptation was going on in Potiphar's house every time the husband traveled. That young man is in trouble. So it got to a point, he now started putting kayamata in his food. He said that New Testament just taught the church to eat food sacrificed to what? Idols. You think today is about going to Buddha or whatever. No. It is. So this the additional thing that Joshua added, the same account. Then this guy was taught well by his father. He would pray over his food. The thing wasn't catching him. When the woman saw that even the sorceries of Egypt were not catching this boy, Joseph now declared a fast. He said, because one day she will come and take me by force. He said, God of my father, please deliver me. I'm a slave, so I can't run away. I would have gone, but I'm a bond servant here. I can't, and every time Ogetra, this woman is on me to sleep with her. Please help. And she will open her breast, and she was very pretty. Joshua explained that her beauty was something else. He said, deliver me. Do you know how God now answered the prayer? When she went on this extra thing, because she now said to Joseph, tried to preach to her a number of times. He said, oh, okay, I now know the answer to your problem, Joseph. Since you people will not sleep with another person's wife, you people Jews, I will poison my husband, and you and I can now. That one said, I will tell your husband. He frightened her. He rebuked her, did something. So Joseph now said, I fasted. God, get me out of here. Do you know what God did to answer his prayer? To send him to prison. That's what you were seeing as whatever. But it was actually an answer to his prayer. So God moved him to prison, where he's going to meet the next contact that will lead him to the palace.